been a guy in Daniel Scott who's waited a couple years. You know, he's battled through a lot, and now he looks like he's playing a key role for you. How long have you guys been waiting to see plug him into your special teams units and see what he can do?
Yeah, we have certainly been waiting the last 2 years. You know, the impressive thing about Daniel Scott is even though he was on the IR for the last 2 seasons, he was in almost every meeting. He was at practice. He was paying really close attention. He was studying everything. So he was staying mentally ready. Certainly he's got to be, a little bit rusty, not getting some of those physical reps for 2 years, but we're really excited for him because when he was coming in, we thought he was going to be a really good teamer. He was a really good teamer in college. He's smart. He has the skill sets to kind of be a really good teamer, similar to how we used Trevor Denbo in the past. So he has the ability to be a good PP and be a good four-phase starter. We're really excited to see what he can do in some live reps and kind of keep moving forward with him.
How would you assess the kicking competition so far between Schrader and Maddox?
So far, I think it's been a good competition. It's still early, so last week we had 2 kicking sessions on our own where we'll chart because we're going to try and get as much data on those guys as we possibly can. So on our own, we had 2 kicking sessions where they each had a 10-ball set. Schrader did a really good job. In that time, he was 19 for 20 working with us. He came out in the team session, so we had 1 team session where the whole team, they were kicking. He had 4 really good balls to start off the set, and he just didn't finish the set well, which really we just need to get those guys in front of the team, as many live opportunities as we can so we can keep taking steps forward. He just didn't finish that set well last week, missed a kick, then overcorrected and missed a second one. Not the way we want to finish. Regrouped, came out this week, did a really good job kicking. With us individually, he was 10 for 11, and then he came out in practice with 6 for 6. Has looked really good. We just got to keep, getting him in as many of those opportunities as possible, which we'll do on the Thursday night practice. That'll be huge. And then this week, to get those guys a little bit more attention, a little bit more in the spotlight, we had Spencer get all the kickoffs and all the field goals on his own Monday. We had Maddox get all those kicks today. Maddox kicked really well, really young, talented kicker in OTAs. I think last week he came out, his rhythm and timing was off just a little bit. Probably maybe that has something to do with being a rookie and a little bit nervous. This week he looked a lot better. Came out today, made all of his kicks, was 6 for 6 in the live set, made all of his kicks in the individual set. So I think those guys will settle in some more as we get them, more live reps and keep moving them forward. But today's been a good week. Thursday will be big for him.
We hear all the time about how competition makes guys better. With a position like kicker that's just so mental and kind of isolated, how do you see that play out? Like, how does competition make those guys better?
Competition, breeds success at every position, and I think, once somebody else is kicking well and it puts the pressure on you, you can see how somebody else can respond. Certainly there is a whole routine that the kickers have to go through to get themselves mentally and physically prepared and make sure their legs are fresh and ready to go. But you want to see how they can mentally respond. There's going to be bumps in the road. They're young kickers, so there's going to be some bumps in the road. How can we reset, respond both mentally and physically to get that done? And how can they handle the consistency in their mental routine just like their physical routine? Because at the end of the day, the end result is we all want to make kicks when it matters the most in games, and we got to see along the process who can handle that routine, be consistent mentally and physical to be the person that has the best chance for success in games. And also just, we have 2 really good veterans that does really help those 2 young guys to help with that routine and that mental and physical preparation with Rigo and Luke, and they've done a great job with those guys.
The change in the tweak in the kickoff rule, I think it's probably more of an issue for the team that's kicking. But are there some coaching points that are different with the returners, given the changes at all, or is it kind of the same?
I think
philosophy?
We have to wait and see how a little bit of it plays out. The coaching points for the returners would not be different than last year, but I think what you will probably see, this year, because the kickoff team has more of an incentive to hit returnable kicks because nobody's going to want to give a touchback and just concede the 35-yard line. A lot of teams are probably going to experiment with trick kicks, line drive kicks, get the ball on the ground, make it unpredictable, and then those ground balls will certainly put a little bit extra pressure on the returners to make sure we have good ball security, which we saw some of that last year, but not a lot. So it'd be the same coaching points as last year, but it might be a little bit different, with the reps of getting some more of those line drive kicks.
Ready for anything.
Yeah.
See a couple more.
Tyler Goodson, he's got a lot of competition at running back now. You guys added Herbert and Giddens. But with a guy that has that much utility, like for you, he's been doing gunner and kickoff, how eager are you to kind of bring him into the fold more so with the special teams?
really excited for Goody. You know, last year was the first year that he really had ever been a starter or a key player on special teams in his whole career. And he really got better as the year went on. He's a really solid starting gunner, has value as a returner, can be a really good cover player with some of his quickness and ability to make a miss on kickoff. So really you're looking, hey, year 2 as a starter, you're expecting him to take an even bigger jump. So really excited, you know, with his utility, certainly that is huge for us in special teams.